The next topic we are going to discuss about is for everybody, including those who are continuous study students. When I say continuous study students, I mean students who do not have work experience. Those of you who studied in your home country and would like to continue your study here in Canada. This segment comprises of the majority of the students who come to Canada every year. Many of you study in universities, pursuing a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or even a PhD. And recently we have seen an upward trend in PhDs coming to Canada as well. Most of you do a diploma program to facilitate permanent residence. This part of the presentation is also important for people with experience because I'm going to talk about PR pathways based on other factors. Your Canadian settlement through permanent residence could be based on several permanent residence pathways available, and some of the influencing factors are: 1. The type of course you are taking. 2. The province you are taking the course. 3. The city you are taking the course. 4. Your marital status strategies. 5. Your work experiences. 6. Your profession, like nurses and service engineers and the engineering specialities, etc. 7. Your diploma course type, regular employment driven, etc. Okay. We will cover each one of these one by one so that you can attempt to analyze and understand them. The first one is about the type of course. Your course type has a lot to do with your permanent residence chance. Most students do not understand this, but fear not. There are several permanent residence pathways and you must take a conscious effort to learn and understand. For example, I will narrate one example. Okay, so many provinces in Ontario provide a permanent residence. Many provinces in Canada, like Ontario, provide a permanent residence nomination program for students who do their masters or PhD in the province. Permanent residence approaches based on type of courses changes from province to province. Okay? So the second one is provincial location of your course. Which province are you taking the course? Which province has the easiest permanent residence chance for students? Which province has that? This may also be important in my view. Okay, very important. And to me, the answer is the Atlantic provinces. The province of Nova Scotia, the province of New Brunswick, the province of Newfoundland, and the province of Prince Edward Island are the provinces that offer federal permanent residence program called AIPP, where a student, as soon as they complete their course, and if they can find a job with a designated employer, then they are allowed to apply for permanent residence right away, even before they gain any work experience. There are some other provinces too, but let us limit ourselves with one good example in this presentation. I may come up with more examples during our Friday's Q&A session. Okay. Now the third point, city-based location of your course. Some cities offer better permanent residence pathways to students who study in that city. Okay. I do not want to talk about immigration programs elaborately, But if you go and visit the Canadian government website, canada.ca, and search for RNIP, or Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot, you will see that being a temporary resident in some cities across the country, across Canada, could benefit your permanent residence chances. Easy. Okay, now we go to the next point. The fourth point is marital status. Being married has its perks, and being a married international student in Canada has huge perks when it comes to permanent residence. When I ask students why they want to go to Canada, why? Most of them tell me it is because of the work permit and the stay back. They enjoy after their study and they are able to work and gain experience. Imagine if you are married and you get admitted to a course and start your education program. Your spouse can get a Canadian open work permit right away and come to Canada and gain experience for permanent residence. I had explained one such example earlier in this presentation. And if you have missed it, please review this video again and learn from it. Number 5, your work experience. If you have work experience in your home country before you leave as a student to Canada, then you have some unique opportunities in some special regions. We have seen situations where a student obtained permanent residence through the AIPP program if the employer likes your work experience. Many students ignore immigration opportunities, and in many cases, Atlantic licensed recruiters like the student have can quickly assist an immigration firm like Provincial to convert a temporary residence to a permanent one with one of those several permanent residence pathways through the employer-driven program which Canada has to offer. Okay, let's go to the next one, your profession. Your profession plays a role in permanent residence. Example, if you are a nurse, along with your course, also complete your nursing credentials to obtain a job as a student and approach some federal or provincial permanent residence pathways for Canadian permanent residents. If you get your license as a nurse or some related profession in nursing, you could find an employer who is willing to support your permanent residence right away, even before you finish your course. Number 7, your diploma course type. What course are you taking in Canada? Some diplomas earn jobs right away after the course is completed. And if the job is obtained in regions where special immigration programs are there, then the turnaround to become a Canadian permanent resident can be quick. When I ask a student what appeals them to go to Canada to study, what is the appealing factor, the response is career. They tell me that they can get a work permit to work and enhance their career. My next question to them is, very good. So you plan to go back to your home country and enhance your career? And the answer is no. I want to have a good career here in Canada. Now that defies logic. How can you have a career in a country where your residency is only temporary? You go on a study program and then you get a temporary work permit or open work permit and you leave. Where is your career? Well, many students don't think that far. Their permanent residence is the most important factor, and everything else goes with it. Therefore, always be focused on permanent residence. The faster you get it, the lesser the risk. If immigration or permanent residence is your goal, then understand it, gain knowledge, and have a strategy even before you sign up for the education course. Keep in mind that a foreign education agent is a commercial establishment. Their goal is profits. They will definitely tell you everything is so easy. They do not know quotas and changes to immigration policies. If you are spending the money you need to know all about permanent residence even before you sign up, be wise. For a regular student going to study in Canada, your goal is to get into a job which is under not code 0A or B. Confusing, but you need to invest your time to learn so that you become eligible for the express entry for permanent residence under Canadian Experience Class. Canadian Experience Class is for people in Canada, because when you apply for permanent residence in Canada, you will come under Canadian Experience Class. I know for fresh students, this is confusing. Please come for the Friday's Q&A session, and I will attempt to answer your questions so that you can understand better. If you cannot understand it as much from the Canadian government website or from the links which we give you in your housekeeping document. The more time students waste by joining training jobs or low-level jobs, the higher the risk for students. Time is their worst enemy. And strategy is important, and a clear pathway to permanent residence must be established even before you finish your course. One way to learn about the different immigration pathways is to attend our Friday Friday Zoom meetings. We discuss all the major 7 pathways. There are many more, but that is a start. And you can then begin learning about more immigration programs. Those of you who have work experience, please do not forget to attend the monthly employer-driven pathways for permanent residency, where you will have a recruiter, Canadian licensed recruiter, talk about jobs. Those of you who are nurses, you must attend the free nurse credentialing free Zoom session, which is held once a month. Provincial offers several pathways to permanent residence, and you must participate and learn. We will now talk about some basic preparations for Canadian permanent residence pre-departure. That means even before you leave your home country to come and study in Canada. Because down the road, you will need to get these documents. For example, police clearance. Okay, but police clearance can be done in your local embassy in Canada. So, if you're coming from the Philippines, you can get your police clearance from the Philippines here in Canada. From India, the police clearance from the Indian embassy here in Canada. That is not a problem. However, if you have done a bachelor's or a master's program in your home country, then you should get your credential evaluations done. And it is a good preparation for your Canadian permanent residence, because you do not know when opportunities strike. Credential evaluation will confirm with the Canadian Immigration Department your overseas education credentials, which could attract additional points for your Canadian permanent residence. Keep in mind that once you do your credential evaluation, this certificate is valid for 5 years. We will now talk about Ielts. Language requirements for immigration is a must. Your knowledge of English and the proof through the Ielts results must be provided with your permanent residence application. But one important factor you must consider is that your current Ielts score may not be valid. because for Canadian permanent residence application, it is different. IELTS for students is IELTS academic. IELTS for your Canadian permanent residence is IELTS general. Therefore, once you are in Canada, close to your becoming eligible for Canadian permanent residence, then you should get your IELTS general tests completed, and your results must be good enough to support your permanent residence application. In Canada, you may choose to do your CELPIP instead of IELTS. It is another test instead of IELTS, which is a computer-based English test. Canadian permanent residence pathway through the education approach has come to an end, and Provincial offers students an opportunity to use our service, which will include education and permanent residence pathway. For continuous study students, I would encourage parents to participate in your child's permanent residence approach and provide guidance. They may need support. Okay, if you're attending a live session, then this pre-recorded part has come to an end, and I'm going to address questions now. Let me repeat, if you have any questions, please post them on Zoom chat or on WhatsApp 1-226-339-5655. If you're watching a recording, this is outside the live event, please WhatsApp your questions to 1-226-339-5655. And we will attempt to answer all your questions either through WhatsApp or at the next live Q&A session. And that is all for today's event. Thank you all for attending. Adios. Thank you.